Nope,
And
sorry.
if we could also now call to order our special meeting to discuss 2019 rates outlook.
Oh, yeah, forgot
This
about
will
that.
be short.
Okay,
Okay, so this, do not confuse this with our rates discussion last March. which is-
okay.
This is really just an update to tell you where we are and what's coming. So, as you know, PG&E throughout the year, really starting in June, gives us input, clues on what's going to be coming rate-wise in the following year, what will be made effective as of January 1st of the following year. With the best information that we had in September, we baked certain assumptions into our operating budget for this year. So we knew we were going to be seeing a big PCIA increase. We planned in a 21% across the board average PCIA increase. We also planned in an 8% reduction in rates. Those two things, work to squeeze us from two different directions. As of our latest information in early November, those numbers have shifted a little bit, but the net effect is canceled each other out. So PCI increase is going to be a little higher. We're currently seeing 24% across the board. Rate decrease will be about 6.5%, and those effectively net out. So same overall impact to our budget projections for next year. The chart that I passed out here, did everybody get one? So the two bars that you see on the left are how rates look today. We're currently at a 6% discount to PG&E. In our budget for next year, we assume we were reducing that delta back down to 1%, which is what I think most of you know we had in our first year of operation in 2017. So we're providing, at least in our plan, less of a discount next year, but we're still competitive at slightly lower cost than PG&E. We're going to have to reduce our rates on average about 12%. That's the net impact of the PCI increase and the PG&E rate decrease.
Blackmail, it's just blackmail.
Now, the very latest information is that it looks like the finalized rates for 2019 are going to be late again.
I was gonna say, didn't we go through this and then panic and realize?
Same thing last year, right? And we're a little bit smarter this time. We haven't figured a whole bunch of rates at least yet until we really know what we have. But it's now looking like it will be the March 1st date again. So late February, we would get the final detailed numbers for PG&E, effective March 1st. For PG&E, our planned schedule would be that in the March board meeting, we bring in our proposed rate structure, which would be, again, in the current direction, 1% less than PG&E, and we bring that for approval. If it turns out that the numbers are different in some substantial way, or if we're seeing more tea leaves and it's becoming clear that our assumptions here may not be what we think or what we thought them to be, then we might bring other options as well. But barring any input from you or the board when we meet in December, we're going to be pointed at this 1% savings rate, and it's a pretty mechanical process to then create our rates based on that assumption. So that's really the update at this point. We're shooting for an April 1st rate transition and reduction in our effective discount to PG&E of 1%. We still will be putting on the order of $30 million into operating reserves, so we're still very solid, but just it's a different picture than we had a year ago. So
30 on a total revenue of,
$250 million.
so 250, we have about 6 in programs, 30 in reserves.
Is it an optical illusion, or do the rates go down compared to 2018? 2019, actually, the graph is lower, but maybe it's just the way you put the graph together.
No, it was intended to be that way, so, yeah, these are the generation rates, but PG&E's generation rates are going down by, we currently believe, 6.5%. So, and the PCIA is going up, so the red PCIA box in 2019 is getting bigger. Net effect is our, you can see the blue bars. In
Right.
2019, it's much lower than it was in 2018.
But the total chimney's lower
Yeah.
from
The overall
2018
Yes,
to
it
2018.
has to
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
Customers will pay less.
Yes, so I think that's important to remember, even if we're shrinking the delta, to communicate, hey, rates are going down, you know.
The what we don't know yet is the net impact of T&D,
Right,
transmission and distribution. So with the fires and everything that's gone on,
Sure.
will we be seeing an increase on the T&D side? We don't have a lot of good information on that yet. It could be that we'll still see a net decrease. And at a minimum, there's gonna be a significant decrease on the gen side, which really will be how we position this. Yeah, so the discount's going down, but the rate's going down substantially.
T&D falls into generation, or will it be a separate line
It
altogether?
would be another,
Bar on top.
another set of bars on
But is it
top.
one that we would have to pass on, or it would be
Yes.
passed on because everybody's a
It's-
PG&E
right.
bill?
It's
Is
passed
that-
on
Okay,
uniformly. Right.
okay, got it. Any other questions?
Courtney?
Yes,
Just a quick comment. Rod, your comment about 6 million, that 6 million in programs is intended to cover 2 years.
Okay.
We don't really know how much we'll spend on each year. Just my experience with program startup, it's very difficult to spend money for programs, and I would expect we'll spend less in the first year and more in the second.
Yep,
And the board has actually budgeted for approximately 5 million per year on programs. So if you look at 10 million over 2 years, what was in front of you earlier was just saying about 60% has been allocated. The other 40 hasn't been allocated yet.
so as we as our uptake rate for any programs that involve individual consumers, it just takes a long time, right, to build?
Yes.
Okay. And the 30, does the 30 factor in the proposed decision on RA?
That wouldn't take effect until 2020.
2020.
Calendar year 2020.
Right, so,
Got it, thank you.
That's just a proposed decision.
anything else?
I don't have.
I have a question. So would we be, once we find out the rates, would we be doing something similar to what we did last year with, plus minus?
So.
Or would it be more simple?
Good question. Our going in assumption this year, we didn't have as much of a going in assumption last year, other than that we weren't gonna do anything to rates, but this year our going in assumption is that we're gonna price ourselves 1% below PG&E's generation rate. That will be our default approach.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And we need to do that to meet the budgetary expectations we set. Now, if, let's say that PG&E's price decrease comes in a lot less than we thought, or PCIA somehow goes down, or, not likely, but if those things, or some combination of those things did happen in such a way that we have more headroom than we thought, yeah, perhaps we could
Okay.
position another option or two.
It seemed like we had less leeway this year. We expect to have less.
That's exactly right, and if somehow that materializes, maybe we come up with another alternative or two,
Okay.
let you decide between those.
Anything else? Now are we adjourned? Okay,
So moved.
fantastic. So
Yes.
moved.
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you, Carisha. Enjoy Sacramento.
Thank you all. Bye.